Hey guys, welcome to my video. So tonight we're doing a little video on oscillators. This is an older one that I just redid. It has 4 transistors, 1 signal wire, and then what I did was put it into this pot. This is a 25 watt 1K pot, so we could do a little bit of adjusting on it. And we're just running off a 12 volt battery. This will be our amp meter. And then this is the battery right now, and we'll be able to look at it on the scope and check the frequency. So let's we're also going to use steel as the core and without it. So right now we're just running it without it. So let's fire this up. So here's the battery coming up. So right now we're using just a hair under an amp and a half. So it's just humming along. There's no steel in the core. Here's our battery being charged, and then here's the scope, so you guys could see the waveform. So if you look real closely, you could see the little spikes coming off the bottom, little negative energy spikes. So right now we're running 828 hertz out of this oscillator. So this is a force oscillator for you, those of you that are not familiar with it. So the secondary wire, instead of going back to ground, it actually gets connected up to the positive, and then the other one gets triggered back. So on a Bedini motor, you have one signal wire that comes in to trigger all these, and then the other side of that small wire goes to ground. But on this system, actually goes up to the positive to force it to fire. So the power goes through the small wire in the opposite polarity, fires off all 4 switches, and then when these fire this coil big, it cuts off the power to the small one, and then it repeats itself. So pretty neat little force oscillator. So here's our battery coming up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put some steel in here. So watch the voltage as I put the steel in. So it went down a little bit, and here's our new frequency, and then look at our wave. So watch as I take this out. So if you're using the steel, the circuit has to be a little bit more tuned. On this one I have 2K resistors going to the transistors as a signal, and yeah, it's a pretty big frequency difference. So I'm trying to take it back out. Then the frequency is back, 826.5. So now the other thing that we could do with this, because it's charging pretty quick, if you have a smaller battery, you could take one of these pots. This is a wire wound pot, so 25 watts, and you could actually, right now it's on full power, you could just start dialing it back, and so now we're using 1 amp. It's coming down, and then all the way down to additional 1K, puts us down to about a half an amp. The charging is decreased, obviously, but the other neat thing is that your frequency is really high now. So we're 1910. So kind of neat when you could adjust these things. So let me start adjusting this again. You can watch the frequency. Start bringing it back up. So the frequency is going back down with the lower resistance. You can see the waves on the scope as they go wider and wider. So now we're back at full power. So that's 2K resistance. This is basically all the way over would be 3K resistance. And yeah, so now the battery's charging back up again. This is a 12 amp hour battery. So if you're using like a 7 amp hour or a 3 amp hour, you definitely want to dial that back a little bit. So pretty neat. So thanks for watching.